That chronic tightness in your shoulders that just won't seem to let go. That dull, nagging ache in your lower back that's become a constant companion. That tension headache that rolls in like a storm cloud, blurring the edges of your day. What if it's more than just stress? More than just aging or overwork? What if your body is trying to tell you a secret? We're all taught to silence our pain. We numb it with pills, distract ourselves with work, and try to push through it like it's an enemy we have to conquer. But what if one of the greatest explorers of the human mind, Carl Jung, believed that this very pain is a desperate, urgent message from the deepest part of you, a part that you've ignored for far too long? Jung saw the potential for physical symptoms to be deeply symbolic, a cry from the psyche for attention. Now, it's critical to say this isn't a substitute for medical advice. You should always see a doctor for physical pain. This is about adding another layer of understanding. In this video, we won't offer stretches or quick fixes. Instead, we'll explore how to decode these messages from your body so you can finally, truly start to listen. We live in a culture that often treats the body like a machine and pain like a simple malfunction. When a warning light flashes on your car's dashboard, you don't just stick a piece of tape over it. You know it's a signal pointing to a deeper problem that needs your attention. Yet when our bodies send us signals, aches, pains, chronic tension, our first instinct is often to do just that. Cover it up and silence the alarm so we can keep driving. We take a pill for the headache, get a massage for the knots in our back, or scroll on our phones to distract from the discomfort in our gut. We've essentially declared war on our own physical sensations, treating them as an inconvenience that gets in the way of our plans. This is what Carl Jung might call the path to meaningless suffering. It's the pain that comes from avoiding and repressing our reality. The tragic irony is that this constant battle to ignore the signals is often the very thing that makes them persist. When we suppress these messages, the body may just scream louder, desperate to be heard. Imagine a fire alarm is blaring in your house. Cutting its wires or smashing it doesn't put out the fire. It just allows the flames to grow in silence until the whole house is threatened. This is what we risk when we silence the messengers in our bodies. Jung's most radical idea was this: the body and the psyche aren't separate. They are deeply intertwined, speaking to each other in a constant dialogue. So, what if we could approach this differently? What if we could lay down our arms in this war against our bodies and, instead, learn to listen? Carl Jung offered us exactly this alternative. He saw pain not just as a biological event, but as a symbolic one. For Jung, the body is like a theater where the unconscious mind plays out its dramas, especially the ones our conscious mind refuses to watch. Jung proposed that some physical symptoms are the body's way of expressing unresolved psychic issues. From this psychological perspective, that ache in your back might not just be from sitting wrong. It could be the physical form of feeling emotionally unsupported or carrying a burden you haven't acknowledged. That recurring tightness in your throat might not just be a cold. It could be the weight of unspoken words you've swallowed for years. That tension headache could be the pressure of unexpressed anger or grief with nowhere to go. The body, in its wisdom, can give a physical form to what is formless in the soul. To understand this, think of the unconscious as a vast, deep ocean. Our conscious mind, our ego, is like a small boat on the surface. We think we're in control, steering our course. But beneath us is this immense, powerful world of unseen currents, forgotten memories, and primal forces. When we ignore what's happening in those depths, the ocean sends signals. A tremor, a wave, a creature from the deep. Physical pain can be one of those signals. It's a voice from the abyss, aching to be seen, felt, and understood. The symptom is rarely just about the body. It's a symbolic message crying out for attention. This is a radical shift in perspective. It asks us to stop seeing our pain only as a mechanical failure and to start seeing it as a potential message. It's an invitation not just to a doctor's office, but to a deeper relationship with ourselves. If pain can be a message, how do we start to understand its language? Jung's work suggests that our suffering can be a catalyst for growth and a call to become more whole. By learning to tell the difference between the cries of the soul, we can start to decode their meaning. First is the physical cry, the body's unspoken truth. This is the most direct message, but it's often misunderstood. As we've seen, the body can express what the psyche won't or can't. The healing journey here begins by changing our question. Instead of only asking, "Where does it hurt?" we can also ask, "What truth might this pain be telling me?" Think of your body not as a faulty machine, but as a wise animal. When an animal is wounded, it doesn't analyze. It retreats and listens inwardly. To reconnect with this instinct, we have to approach our symptoms with curiosity, not judgment. That chronic shoulder pain, is it related to the burdens you're shouldering? That digestive issue, what situation in your life can't you stomach? This isn't about finding a simple translation. It's about opening a dialogue and acknowledging that your physical reality is interwoven with your emotional life. Second is the emotional cry, the alchemy of suffering. Often, a physical cry is an echo of a deeper emotional one. For Jung, emotional suffering like grief or anger isn't just a punishment. It's a powerful catalyst for transformation. He saw this as a form of alchemy, turning the lead of our pain and trauma into the gold of wisdom and compassion. But that can only happen if we have the courage to face it. Jung made a crucial distinction between meaningless and meaningful suffering. Meaningless suffering comes from avoiding our pain, which leads to feeling stuck. Meaningful suffering, on the other hand, comes from consciously turning towards our pain to understand its purpose. This is the pain that purifies and deepens us. Third is the existential cry, the ache for meaning. Sometimes the pain that shows up in the body is even deeper. It's not just an unprocessed emotion, but a profound existential ache. The pain of meaninglessness, of feeling disconnected from yourself and the world. This is the suffering that asks the biggest questions. Why am I here? What is my purpose? Jung saw this spiritual crisis as a normal part of the human journey, especially in the second half of life. He believed this deep, gnawing pain wasn't a flaw to be cured, but a summons from the self, the archetype of wholeness at the center of our being. This pain signals that our old map of the world is no longer working. The soul is demanding a larger territory and a deeper connection to meaning. It's a call to leave the safe harbor and set sail into the unknown, in search of your authentic self. This, for Jung, is the ultimate purpose of our suffering, to wake us up. Understanding that your pain might be a message is the first step. The next is learning the art of listening. This isn't passive. It's an active, courageous practice of turning inward. Here are 4 practical ways to begin this conversation. Step 1. The sacred pause. When you feel that familiar pain, what's your immediate reaction? Do you clench your jaw? Distract yourself? Reach for a pill? The first and most powerful step is to do nothing. Just pause, take a breath, and instead of pushing the sensation away, just let it be there. This simple act of non-resistance is revolutionary. You're no longer at war with the feeling. You're calling a truce. You're signaling to your body, I see you. I'm willing to be with you. Step 3. Heed the messengers of the night. Jung believed the unconscious speaks most clearly when the ego is asleep. Pay attention to your dreams, especially recurring ones. They are like letters from your inner self. Keep a dream journal by your bed and write down whatever you remember, no matter how strange it seems. Over time, you might see patterns that echo the messages of your physical pain. Also, notice synchronicities, meaningful coincidences in your daily life. When you start listening this way, the world often seems to conspire to help you, placing the right book or conversation in your path. These can feel like guideposts. There's a powerful archetype that often emerges on this journey, the wounded healer. Jung believed that our own wounds are what give us the power to help others heal. He suggested that many people are drawn to helping professions because they're trying to understand their own suffering. By turning toward your pain and doing this deep inner work, you're not just healing yourself. You're turning your personal suffering into a source of deep empathy and compassion. You start to understand the struggles of others on a level that's impossible for those who haven't faced their own depths. Your pain, once a source of shame, becomes a bridge connecting you to the heart of our shared humanity. Your experience of suffering, when integrated, stops being a personal flaw and becomes a spiritual gift. It's a testament to the truth that our deepest wounds can become our greatest strengths. This journey reframes your struggle completely. You are not broken. You are not stuck. You are in a process of profound transformation, being initiated into a deeper wisdom. The very thing you thought was your greatest weakness might just be the source of your most authentic power. The core idea we've explored today is this: your pain doesn't have to be a curse. It isn't a punishment or a mistake. It can be viewed as a sacred summons, a cry from your soul, calling you toward a more conscious and authentic life. The great Carl Jung himself said, "There is no coming to consciousness without pain. We will do almost anything to avoid facing our own soul, but it's in that very confrontation that true healing can begin." The pain is not the enemy. The avoidance of it is. We are all on this path of discovery together, learning to listen to the whispers and screams of our own bodies. I invite you to share in the comments what part of this message resonated with you the most. What secret might your body be trying to tell you? Your story or your insight might be the key that helps someone else on their journey. If you connect with this path of deeper understanding, consider subscribing to join our community. Your body isn't broken. It's not failing you. It's speaking to you in the only language it knows. The only question left is, are you finally ready to listen?